Yell at them. Yeah. Them those weekly stuff. But there was a class that you've taken while you've been at BYU that you said, not really sure how I'm going to use this in my life. Could that be? Yeah. We would never admit to that, right? Okay, I went here, I sat in these chairs. Yeah, some of those classes, it's like, when am I ever going to use this? This right here has got to be one of the best classes you could take on campus. It's very real. Hopefully you get some applicable things come from this. Today, in our next 30-ish minutes together, I want to share some nuggets with you. Some things that you can take forward in your lives that will really benefit you. Okay? So, who in here wants to be an entrepreneur? Okay, pretty good number of hands. More interestingly, who in here doesn't necessarily want to be an entrepreneur? Higher, higher, higher. Okay, isn't that interesting? You're in the Entrepreneur Lecture Series and you don't want to be an entrepreneur. Who raised their hand? Right here. Why are you taking the class?
I'm a little bit curious about the processes.
I like that. She's a little bit curious about the processes. Who else? Right there, sir.
You told me to.
I told you to. That's a good man. I like it. It's more of a commandment, but told you good. Yeah, right there. Who's that now? Yes, sir.
Required for the minor.
What?
Required for the minor.
Okay, requirements. That's good. I think that, yeah.
It's required.
It's required. Somebody else? All right. I like that you're here. I'm going to turn you into entrepreneurs. All right? Those of you who said, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur. Why are you taking the class? Why? Better question. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Please? Yes, right here.
I feel like the world has so much potential, and we're the ones who are going to help the world find that potential.
Okay? He wants to bring out that potential that's out there. Yes, please. Myra.
I have ideas that I would like to see from my build something myself.
You have ideas? My email address is, hey, I like it. Yes, sir.
I want to create more material that can be consecrated.
Fantastic.
So,
Okay? Others? Come on, back row. You don't escape me. See, I'm coming closer and closer. Yes, sir.
I want to change the world.
Nice. Okay? Come on. Keep it coming, entrepreneurs. There was a lot of hands. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Be honest.
I see problems and things that I think I can solve, so I want to do that.
You need my email address too, okay? She wants to solve problems and things that she sees. I like that. A lot of people can't see that. Yes, sir.
I don't want to work for someone else.
Bingo. There is drama in the workplace. For those of you who don't want to be entrepreneurs, there is so much drama in the workplace. It's almost unavoidable. Okay, and bureaucracy, oh my gosh, nothing ever happens. But we gotta think. Okay? Right, great. All right, I love it. Come on. Honesty. Yeah?
I want to live in your Scout's neighborhood someday.
Want to live in my neighborhood with Scott. Okay, I like the honesty. Okay? Entrepreneurs generally want to be rich. Want to make a lot of money. Is that such a bad thing? No. It's what you do with your money when you make it that determines whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And not all entrepreneurs are rich. Okay? But I love that you say that. And what I want everybody in here to remember is all of the lecturers that come and speak to you, nearly all of them, sat in these seats. So if you're looking at me and saying, I could never get there, you're wrong. I had a 21 on the ACT. Okay? I just, not me. Well, back then, that's wrong. Okay, every year it goes up by 1 point. Soon you're going to have to 40. But guys, that's not what entrepreneurism is. It's not the smartest. It's not the best. It's the person that can see pains and problems and solve them that is the entrepreneur. That's not all entrepreneurs. Some entrepreneurs open a subway. Not necessarily pain. It's stomach pain, but a little different. Okay, you don't have to be the brightest. Is there luck involved? You bet. Okay, any entrepreneur that tells you otherwise that comes next week, there's no luck. Dream. There's a lot of luck involved. But you create your luck. And I'll tell you today some ways to create luck in your life, okay? All right, so when I teach at BYU, I teach 2 classes here, and I start every class period with this quote on the screen, right? It's my TA. Now he's this rock star, but he used to just be a TA. If you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to build their dream. Okay? So first day of class, I have my students do an exercise. If you ever take my class, I want to get the secret away. But I make my students go out and start a business. Day 1. They have 2 hours to put into their business. Okay? My students in that 2 hours, the record so far is $650?
Something like that, yes.
In 2 hours, they generated $650 for their new business. Now, if you average that out, that's a lot more per hour than you're going to make shaving roast beef at Arby's. Okay? So if you think this way, entrepreneurialism, you can do so much more starting a business. Last week, I met with a landscaper. Are you in here? No? Okay, last week, I'm a mentor. You can schedule an appointment with me anytime. I give my time freely here at the school. I met with a gentleman who was a landscaper. He went through and he talked about his entrepreneurial desires, what he wanted to do, and how he was going to get down this road. He said, "What are you doing right now?" He says, I work for my brother's friend who owns a landscaping business. "What do you make an hour?" $11. "What do you do in an hour? What do you do during the day?" He says, "I fix sprinklers." "Digging trenches and stuff?" He says, $11. What does your friend charge for that hour that you work? $65. You did all the work. He got 65. You got 54. If you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to build their dream. I don't think he works for that landscaper anymore. Because I said, "Why don't you go get on KSL? Advertise your services as a handyman. See, you do all these other things. And while you're going to school, why don't you sell your services to the community for $40 an hour? 30-ish% savings. You just raised your income by over 3 times. And you're a bargain. My wife will hire you. We need our sprinklers fixed. We need all kinds of other handyman stuff done. You get it? He didn't start the business necessarily, but he started building his own dreams versus somebody else's. That's what I'm talking about with entrepreneurs. So guys, what are the traits of an entrepreneur? We're all mad. Risk taker. Love it. If you have a risk aversion, afraid of risk, might want to consider it a good class. Yes, sir. Charismatic. Thank you. Yes, sir. Irish.
Problem solver.
Problem solver. Over here, hang it up slightly. Okay, maybe not. Down here. Yes.
Impatient.
Sorry. This is what you married. Impatient. We are. Yeah. And some of us have ADD also. Yes, sir.
Persistent.
Persistent. Gotcha. Keep them coming. Yes, sir.
Creator.
Creator. Indeed.
You're always hungry to learn something new.
Love it. Others? Yes, sir.
Self-motivated.
Self-motivated. Indeed. Yes, sir.
A leader.
A leader? Good. Oh, great characteristics. There are a few more. One of them is interesting. Creator. Do you see yourself as the creative type? I've built and sold quite a number of companies. I have never once come up with an idea. Not once. I have always taken somebody else's ideas to market. Never once have I invented anything. This right here is called the Michi bag. It's a really cool story. A young lady, early 20s, goes to lunch one day, She's a dental hygienist, and she spills her soda on her handbag. She goes home, and she's young, poor, like all of you. Sorry. State of life, nothing else. She goes home, she's got this brand new Kate Spade knockoff. Well, when you're poor, you've got to be resourceful, you've got to make things work. So she goes home and she cuts the exterior of this bag off, because the exterior was ruined, but the inside was in perfect shape. So she cuts it off, and now she's stuck with this exterior to her bag that she's cut off. She makes a new one, she puts snaps across the top. And from that accident comes the idea, what if I could have different exteriors for my bag? Then I can switch from one look to another in a matter of seconds. Rush out the door, and my outfit matches my bag. Now guys, if you don't understand anything I just said, it's cool. But to chicks, they actually take time to look nice. It's their thing. You wouldn't get it. It's cool. That accident turned into hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay? Remember luck? Luck sometimes happens in curious ways. Okay? But luck is part of the equation. But we create our own luck just by making some things happen. All right, moving along. Let's go back to those traits, okay? Cruising through traits. Outgoing, confident, passionate, observant, visionary, determined. Good listeners, frugal, savers, high risk tolerance, not afraid to fail. We question conventional wisdom, okay? We revisit the rules. All right, entrepreneurs, why do 90% of our businesses fail? Why? Yes, sir.
Because it doesn't match the customer's interest.
Maybe. Yes, absolutely. Doesn't match the customer's interest. Other reasons. Yes, sir?
I think people start businesses and realize how hard it is.
Yeah, those early days, man, it takes a long time to get the wheels churning. You're sitting there thinking, this isn't going to go, this isn't going to go. Yeah, it just takes a while. Yes, sir? They don't do their due diligence. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Yes, sir? Cash flow. Okay, guys. Yeah, one more, please.
They build something you don't want.
Thank you. You've read the Elephant Scale, haven't you? Look at that. 90% of startups fail because of the characteristics that we just described. So there are all those great characteristics, for the most part, all really good things. But guys, when you are too passionate, too hooked to your vision, and too determined, you fail to see the signals. You fail to hear the warnings. You don't listen to what people are telling you because you are too in love with your idea. But somebody said, the public, you built something that the people didn't want, the consumer didn't want. That's why they fail. And so there's a process called validation, which I'll talk to you about. But an entrepreneur needs to be a good listener, okay? You've got to listen to learn and not listen hearing what you want to hear. We tend to hear what we want to hear because we're so in love with our product, we're only hearing the positive, okay? That comes from Nail It, Then Scale It. How many of you are savers? Higher. How many of you are spenders? Higher. It's okay. This is the confessional. The drape is pulled. Let's go. Get it out. I'm a spender. I'm a bad, bad person. If you want to be successful, this guy's not putting his arm down. He is a professed spender. I like it.
No, it's not. I'm spending.
All right. To get somewhere, guys, you got to be a saver. Who said they were a saver? Okay? How much you save? A lot? Good. That's good. For you, you don't spend, you live poor. I don't care what the amount is, I love it. Okay? Women, that's the guy right there. Maybe not. It's so important to be savers. Here's a true story. I go to Thanksgiving. Now, you guys don't know what the 90s are, but it was a year way, way back. And, oh, maybe some of you were born. So in the late 90s, my wife and I go to Thanksgiving. And my brother-in-law is there, and he is talking about this business that he's gotten himself into. This weight loss business. And he is talking some really big numbers. And I'm just sitting there absorbing. I'm not asking much. I'm not doing much. On Monday morning when we got back to work, I took one of my employees and I said, I want you to call every mall in the country. When they pick up the phone, I want you to say, do you have a metabolite part in your mall? If they say yes, say, thanks, have a nice day. If they say no, say, could you please send me a contract? I'd like to fill it out on you. We picked up 17 malls. We bought product, we put the product in the malls. Over a year and a half time, we made millions of dollars. We sold that business back to Metabolite. A year and a half later, quick cash, one product, sold without any effort. You don't even have to be a BYU student to run that business. It's that easy. Why was that opportunity available to us? Because we had cash in the bank. When the economy goes down, right now, everybody's buying homes, right? Everybody's buying. When the economy goes down, nobody's buying. Right now, if you go to buy a home, there's a good chance you're going to bid with 2 other people to buy that home. Who's the winner? The seller. So when they say it's a seller's market, that's what we're talking about. Okay? For savers, go ahead and sit on the sideline. Watch the frenzy. Because don't worry, Donald Trump's going to make a mess of it. We've been sitting in here a while now. Maybe it's already happened. Right? I voted for him. I'm part of the problem. Okay? Sorry. I can understand this. But when that goes down, guys, and you have savings, that's the time to buy because nobody else is buying. Now you work the price down versus the buyer working the price up. There are millions of scenarios where I can tell you the importance of being a saver. If you are a spender, you are getting your reward right now. You're spending. That great new pair of Oakley sunglasses you just had to have, that's your reward. You could have got them online. But you get it? You are getting instant satisfaction versus the alternative, which is stockpiling cash for an opportunity that will come your way. Sitting at Thanksgiving dinner someday. Okay? How many will be savers? Every hand went up in the classroom. I just know. Okay? All right. Observant. This is one that's going to hurt. And your name, young lady? Susanna. I love that you can see problems and solutions to those problems. The problem that I have with your generation, and it's a big generational gap from your generation to mine, and that is, you guys walk around, did you steal my phone? Got it. You guys walk around like this. I see you on campus and you are looking down, you're doing this all the time. I watched in church yesterday. I'm in the bishopric of a student ward. And I sat there and I watched the congregation because they're in a stadium seating like this. Easily half of the congregation was sitting there, didn't you? You guys are stuck to your devices. And the problem is you don't see pains. Pains and problems are what we're looking for as entrepreneurs. So unless it flashes across your screen, you're going to need to take your eyes off your screen to see problems and pains. Okay? I'm going to tell you about a really cool one in just a minute. All right. Fearless, afraid to fail. This is a really cool story. Dallas Morning News, many years ago. This guy wrote a story. He used to be an admissions counselor for one of the Ivy League schools. I think you can get it, Dallas Morning News. Don't send your kid to the Ivy League. And he talked about this admission process and figuring out who was going to come in. And he said, without fail, every year the same thing happened. They received all these applications from children who had never failed in their lives. Mom and dad had raised them from a young age to never taste of failure. They became fencers, they became horse riders, they became lacrosse players, whatever. Mom and dad paid for tutors, they paid for trainers, they paid for the best of everything. And that created a culture at the Ivy Leagues of employees, not employees. If you've never taken a risk before, I was playing golf last fall with the MBAs, and one of them came up to me and he said, Brother Church, man, I really, really want to be an entrepreneur. But I'm so worried I'm going to fail. I said, oh, Charlie, don't worry. You don't need to worry about that. Because, of course you're going to fail. There's a 100% chance you're going to fail. You see, that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We fail and we're not afraid of it. The key is, anybody know? Nail it, then scale it. Fail quickly. Fail fast and fail cheap. Okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about and you want to be an entrepreneur and you're not studying Nail It, Then Scale It, that's the textbook I use. It's just a normal book by Nathan Furr. In that book, we are taught to fail fast and fail cheap. You got an idea? Good for you. Is it a good idea? Don't come ask Brother Church if it's a good idea. I don't know. And if you think that because I said, yes, that's a good idea, go, that's a path to failure. What did the consumers say? And that's what that book will teach you. And it teaches you to do it in about 2 months and for about $250. That is failing fast and failing cheap. 2 years and $50,000 of your mother-in-law's mortgage home money, that is it. That's what everybody does. Okay, there's a new way. Nail It, Then Scale It by Nathan Furr. Okay?
They have to read it for the class.
Oh, you have to read it anyway. I just gave you motivation. Now you're looking forward. Right?
And maybe a test question answer.
And maybe a test question answer. It's just like a book of life. It's a really good book. Okay? One's more important than the other. Come on. But it's really good if you want to be an entrepreneur. Okay? Do I have to leave now? No, I crossed too many lines.
No, you're good.
All right. So where do ideas come from? I told you about one. Sometimes they're just accidents. Okay? But what we're looking for is what Susanna said. We are looking for pains. We are looking for problems. Most people in our world are just normal. We've gathered here together today because we are abnormal. Right? Yeah. We don't just get stuck with a pain or a problem and say, this bites. No, we say this bites. I'm not going to do this. There's got to be a better way than this. And we think of a solution. One of my students, a fantastic young man, recent graduate, Matt Alexander. Matt goes in, it's a little bit private here. Matt goes into the bathroom one night. He flips on the light switch. And he goes, oh, it's such a pain. And then he proceeds to take care of some business. And he thought, that is such a pain. What am I going to do to solve that? And he invented a LED light that goes around the toilet bowl. And he put a little motion sensor on the front. And now when you walk into the bathroom, tens of millions of Americans walk into their bathrooms. The toilet bowl lights up with a very soft LED light. You can get it to change colors if you'd like. And when you're done, you walk back out and it turns off. It doesn't sting your eyes, and it's a wonderful target. And 26, 27 years old, he's made millions of dollars. And he started it his junior year at BYU. How stupid of an idea is that? Do you get my picture? Matt, do you know what Matt is? Matt is a die-hard saver. He has money for when opportunities come around. Now, different from me, he identifies pains and he solves them, like Suzanne's been doing. But that's what you're looking to do. That's where ideas come from, guys. That's where the big ones come from. There are many other ideas, but those are where the big ones come from. Okay? Now, you have to decide if your pain is a big one or a small one. And so we kind of categorize this as, is it a vitamin or is it a painkiller? Does a vitamin take away your pain? No. So if I'm a yoga instructor, I might want to start my own business. As a yoga instructor starting a business, that might be more of a vitamin. Okay? But Matt came up with a painkiller. And Americans responded and they bought millions and millions of them. Okay? Michelle came up with this ingenious idea for a handbag. And people bought tens of millions of them. Okay? That's solving a pain. How crowded is the handbag industry? You look at the Walmart and the Target level bag, 30, 35, 40 bucks. There's just dozens of them on their shelves. And then you get up to Gucci and Louis Vuitton and $2,500 to $6,500 bags, $10,000 bags. And there are so many competitors in that space. And in between, you've got dozens and dozens of others. It's a very, very crowded space. And look what happened. Started it in 2007, sold it in 2010. 3 years. Good ideas, okay? Solving a pain. It's a giant pain, isn't it? Guys, you don't understand. It's a giant pain. Interesting. Mosquito bite or a shark bite. Okay, so many people ask me, how do I come up with an idea? You really want to be an entrepreneur? You want to come up with an idea? Take me very seriously on what I'm about to tell you. I want you to keep a journal. This is different from what your bishop or your Sunday school teacher or somebody told you to do. That's a good one too, okay? I want you to keep an entrepreneur journal. This one is so simple. I want you to go get a book dedicated to entrepreneurship. Small notebook. Every night, you owe that notebook 2 lines. 2 different things, not ideas, 2 different lines written in that journal. Okay? I'm not saying that I have to find 2 pains every day. That's really hard. But I am asking you to write 2 things in that journal every day. You get to bed, you better figure out 2 entrepreneurial things from the day. I don't care what they are. It could be an idea. It could be a pain. But it could also be, I went to a Chinese restaurant, picked up food, there was the owner, and I had a chat with him. You like running your business? Is it cool being in the food business? Are there a lot of regulations? And then put down something that you learned from that discussion. Did you run into an entrepreneur during the day? What epiphany did you have from talking with that entrepreneur? What epiphany did you take away from your entrepreneur lecture series class today? Were you watching Shark Tank? What epiphany did you get from Shark Tank? Think of your family friends that have their own businesses. Think about what their businesses are. Maybe call and ask them how they started it. I just want you to force yourself to write 2 things every day. If you do that, you will cause yourself to start thinking entrepreneurial because you know you have to write tonight. I have students that do this diligently. They come and sit down with me in mentoring appointments, and they open their notebooks. And their notebooks are chock full of writings. And they have stars next to them or highlights. and they're there to talk to me about the highlighted things. And those are ideas. This is to force you to think entrepreneurially in your busy lives. Okay? This is where ideas come from. It's one great way. Okay? Validation. I already hit on this, so I'm not going to spend any time on this. Validation is what Nail It Then Scale It teaches you. Validation is don't ask Brother Church if this is a good idea. Because I don't buy handbags. Do I think it's a good idea? I thought it was an okay idea. I thought it was kind of goofy. I took it home, I showed it to my wife and my sister-in-law. My dad was dying of cancer, and so we were all kind of in the house for a few weeks. And I said, hey, will you guys come look at this? And my mom and my sister-in-law looked at it, and they're like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever seen. My brother of that sister-in-law is now retired because he invested in that company. So it wasn't such a dumb idea. But you see what I mean? You've got to ask the right people if it's a good idea. Who would the right people be for the handbag? No, you're not the right person. But
My wife.
Yeah, thank you.
Trust me.
I was working there.
I talk about this a lot, so you got to talk to your target customer.
Bingo! And I was just working with him.
I know.
I had to
I'm
pick
ready
on
for
it.
it. Let's go.
Bring it on. But that's right. It's his wife. And it's his wife because they're poor. You're all poor. I don't care if you have $500,000 in the bank. You're poor. And you are poor until you're 35. Just keep living poor. Don't ever feel the desire to move into Scott's neighborhood. Just keep stockpiling cash. Okay? If you'll come upstairs, I'm going to teach you the second best, maybe the best lesson you'll ever learn. If I have time, I'll teach it in here. Okay? But that's it. We've got to ask our target demographic, and Nail It Then Scale It teaches us to ask 100 people. Nail It Then Scale It that wants 50% of those people. If you work with me, I want 70. 50's just not good enough. I want to see that 70% of your demographic said, I'd buy that. I'll place an order right now. I had some students a few years ago. We start class. I told you about what we do on the first day. Well, then during the semester, we start businesses. 6 of them, and we run them through the semester. These guys came up with a light for the front of their longboard, okay? And they went and bought Christmas lights, a little strand of a Christmas light something, and they snipped it so that it would curve. They glued it on the board and they mounted it when Radio Shack was in business. They bought a battery-powered thing to make that light go. And they went around and they showed people. First, students. Any students? No. What? California students. I like it. That's good. Longboarding students. And they said, what do you think? What if your longboard had a light on the front of it? It's the first idea that I ever saw that validated with 100% of the people that saw it. Okay? So then they took it into the stores in Utah County. And do you know what the store owner said? One or two, one for sure, said, I'll place an order for that product today. That, my friends, is validation. Now we go buy product and start the business. The old way, buy a bunch of product, take it out and see if we can sell it. See the money that's lost? That was your mother-in-law's equity in her home. Okay, we don't do that anymore. All right, so to wrap up here, I got 5 minutes?
Yep.
Okay, wrapping up, and then we'll take it upstairs
You're
and I'll
10.
share something with those of you that come
You
upstairs.
have 10.
What?
You have 10
10?
if you want it.
Okay, golden nugget. You ready? There's something that's consistent with entrepreneurs. Not entrepreneurs, but wealthy people. It seems that wealthy people tend to have a lot of real estate, right? Kind of true? Largely true? Okay, let me teach you something really great. All of you who said you didn't want to be an entrepreneur, you've gone to sleep, wake up. Okay? And this one's good for you too. Here I am, and I want to be an entrepreneur, and I'm starting my business, okay? And it's getting going, and it's tough, and I'm poor, but I saved up all this money doing summer sales. Okay? Now here's my little sweetie. This is my little sweetie. My wife and I, we took all that money that we've saved up, and we went and we bought a home. Now we didn't have enough money, we didn't have enough years at a job, but we went and got mom, dad, grandma, somebody to co-sign with us on our loan. We had enough money to put down and get it going. We bought this home, right? And this home was a single-level home, had a basement, and in the basement was an apartment. Okay? Who's going to live in the apartment? Who said that? My wife and I are going to live in the apartment. Why? Because we're what? Because we're poor. You're poor. You're poor until you're 35. Live in poor neighborhoods, be with poor people, everybody's poor. There's nothing cool about being rich. It's cool to be poor because you're stockpiling cash and you're amassing real estate. So you and your wife, you bought this great house. And you lived in the basement apartment and you rented the top floor out for the amount of the mortgage payment. 1 year in that house, and you know what you're going to do? Bingo! What did you do with all that money you saved?
Buy another house.
Who said that? Oh, you're too smart. He just gave you the answers. He already knows all this. After 1 year, guys, you're going to put somebody in that basement apartment and you're going to go buy another beautiful little house with a cool basement apartment. And where are you going to live? Why? Bingo! And you're going to do that 5 more times. In 10 years, you're going to do that 5 times. And at the end of 10 years, you're going to sell all 5 of them and buy a huge one. I'll do it. Don't you do that. I will hunt you down, every one of you. Then you're going to buy an apartment complex. Wait a minute. What was our job? Didn't we have a job? Did you remember we were entrepreneurs? We were over here starting this business. Our business has grown. It's pumping off all this cash. And what happened over here? We amassed a real estate mini empire that is producing as much cash for us as our business. And we grew them at the same time. Got it? Go do it. I'm not kidding. I have so many students doing that. Go do it. Remember, the economy is peaking. You buy right now, remember, buy low, sell high, you're buying high right now. But when it comes back down, but why are we saving? We're getting in a position to do this. This is growing 2 incomes at the same time. It works. It works so well, you wouldn't believe it. There's a gentleman on one of the first 3 rows doing this right now. Okay? It is a beautiful plan and it will set you up for it. That is security. When the economy goes down, you've got rental income coming in. Who's on board? I would have expected many more hands. But if you need me to coach you through that, make an appointment with me. Okay, what's left? Who took my clicker? See, entrepreneurs aren't very smart. Not at all. All right, so guys, just really quickly in conclusion. As entrepreneurs, we get very busy, okay? And we tend to lose focus. And we need to keep balance in our lives. So we have all these things we have to do. This is where our money comes from. This is our business and our job. We got our family. Remember the sweetie that we loved so much, made our heart go pity-pats? We married her. Okay, we got to keep that in balance. Our health can't just be working all the time and eating from the candy machines out here. It doesn't work. School for you guys, this is trying to be social life, but you have to give up your social life. No, don't do that. Spirituality. I see so many entrepreneurs that are too busy for their spiritual life. Okay? if you take nothing else away from the class today, other than that real estate lesson I just commanded you, I want you to take this away. Your business is never, never too good to jeopardize your integrity, your family, or your testimony. Because there is one goal that we all have in life. What is it? What is your ultimate goal in life? Eternal life. What's your next ultimate goal? Who said that? Would anybody disagree that the ultimate goal in life is happiness? You're at school, why? You want a better job. Why? To take care of your family. Why? Ultimately, every question I ask, I can get you boil it down to, I want to be happy. If you guys will remember those three things, never jeopardize your integrity, never jeopardize your family, never jeopardize your testimony for anything, but especially your entrepreneurial pursuit. You're doing your entrepreneurial pursuit because it makes you happy. You jeopardize those three things for your entrepreneurial pursuit, you just gave up happiness in exchange for that. Be really, really careful to never jeopardize those three things. And with that, I leave you. Thanks for coming.